I grew up with all sisters and cousins, all women in my family. And but it's the hood, and they all danced, and they all, they all partied and vibed. And so it was like I watched what they did. Seattle. So we moved to Seattle because Vegas was violent. Vegas was like, there was a lot of parties that we went to that got shot up in Vegas, and it was just like a lot of gang things happening around that time. So when we moved to Seattle, it was the same thing. A lot of gangs, a lot of like. So what I figured from that time point, that was just happening in a lot of cities across the United States. And us thinking that we're getting away from something, it was a epidemic in all of the cities. As far as like, if you're a black man, you can probably lose your life if you turn 18 or go to jail. Like, it was one of those things. It was crazy. And there was one party. We was only here for 3 months here in Seattle, and there was one party that we went to, me and Latif, and he ended up getting shot. and
Wow.
and he survived. And him surviving, and him, it was pretty bad. And spare the details and stuff too. We wasn't a part of any gang or anything. We were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And that's what could have happened to us in Vegas. And so we thought we were
Wow.
getting away from that.
Right,
And
right. And
and
like to what you're saying, man, is just like, you know, I guess anytime you're gonna have a lack of opportunity,
yeah,
right? And lack of opportunity puts people in survival mode. Survival mode, you start banding with other people in survival mode. Next thing you
that's
know, you
right.
repping your neighborhood, and it's on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
One thing, I guess it would be better to ask him if ever given the opportunity, but I'll ask you since you were so
Yeah.
close to him. Like getting shot, man. I hear about people that are just, regular positive people get shot and then
Yeah.
they just flip like,
Here at News 4, we're examining gun violence in our nation's capital and the lasting impact it has on our community. Although the crimes capture headlines, it's the victims who are left picking up the pieces, suffering with physical and emotional wounds that can take years to heal and can lead to long-term health problems. According to new research, people with retained bullet fragments are more likely to return to the emergency room within 6 months and more likely to suffer from another firearm injury within a year. Healing the physical and emotional wounds can take years, with survivors often struggling with chronic pain, crippling anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll never,
Yeah.
that'll never happen to me again. Did he take like, what was his response to it? Was he just like, okay, it was unfortunate, or was he like, okay, it's time to bear arms? I mean, not to be snitching on him or nothing, but you know what I'm saying? Like, did it
No.
make him a more negative like
Yeah.
person?
Right. No, you're right. I mean, he became more protective of his own, but he has two beautiful daughters, and was able to survive that, to have his own family and to be able to dance again. And I think if he wasn't able to dance again, which there was a good chance that he wasn't, but he recovered like he did. I mean, we used to call him Wolverine. It's like, yo, you got healing factors, yo. Like, you healed mad quick. The doctor said
Word.
one thing and he did the opposite. And yeah, like, the right to bear arms. He believes in that. I believe in that too. I feel like, everybody, I don't feel like the government should have their hands in anything what people are doing. But I can understand that there's a lot of idiots out there and a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of crazy people, unfortunately, and shit. And they shouldn't be having weapons or anything like that. But in Latif's case, in Moses's case, he's a lot like me. I'm a lot like him. We're good-hearted people. We respect everybody that we come across, and like, him, that happening to him, I think is just it. He was close to death, and I was close to seeing death from, on that side or whatever. But him pulling through was just like, he knew it was a second chance in life, and just, flip the script. We ended up staying in Seattle too. We were like, Vegas is that bad. We were like, nah, we're
Wow.
not going back to Vegas. We're gonna stay here. But Vegas is
Right.
dope now. So respect to all the people in Vegas. Vegas is
Oh
not a
yeah,
whack
for
city.
sure.
There's the hip hop is flourishing there.
No doubt. Now, how does Circle of Fire come about? Now, is it like a quick thing? You meet these guys while you're still new in the city, because or is it like, how does that unfold? Because I know they have this thing. What is it? The Seattle Freeze.
It depends on who you ask, but it goes something like this. You move to Seattle, people are friendly, they say hello, they nod. But do your new friends ever invite you over to dinner? If you invite them over for a potluck or a barbecue, will they come? Do your new co-workers want to hang out with you on the weekend? Or is social distancing just a way of life in Seattle, even without the pandemic? A writer once described the Seattle Freeze as the flip side of Seattle Nice. Welcome to Seattle. Now please go away. Everyone acknowledges that there's some kind of truth in this. And so the question is, what exactly is the Seattle Freeze and what causes it? There are a number of theories. One is ethnicity. The British expatriate writer Jonathan Rabin said it had to do with Seattle's Scando-Asian reserve. Some blame the weather, especially the rain, which keeps us cocooned from October through January and tends to breed broody tendencies in the population. Some think it has to do with our live and let live philosophy. Your business is your business, my business is my business. We'll all get along if we just give each other enough space. Some think it's a manifestation of our famed passive aggressiveness. We won't really say we don't want to be around you, but you'll know.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, how do people make friends there? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you're not from there, so how do you make friends with these people?
Yeah, the Seattle Freeze. That's they say that's a thing, and it could be for some folks and stuff too. But we met like back in '97, like as far as the crew, and we met at a club. Just me and Latif going to a club, and then seeing these guys come to the club and going, oh okay, these dudes, they dance different, and they like to have fun like the way that we have fun. And they got the same taste the way that we have the same taste. And that's after talking to them and mingling with them. Of course, they were the only dancers in the club as far as me and Latif being the only dancers in the club. So it was automatic that we would connect somehow. And then it was just like, yo, these are like brothers. Like, so we just started hanging out with them more. And I say them, they were a collective at that time, meaning none of us was from Seattle. All of us was transplants from somewhere else. So like Bob the Balance was from San Francisco, and so or Hayward, California, and so was Seth too from Hayward, California, and Free was from San Diego by way of the Philippines. John Jay was from Seoul, Korea, but lived in Seattle for a long time. I think Cody is the only one that's from Seattle. And so the girl's the only one from Seattle. So we all just met up there. And and E.T. Todd from Hawaii. So he came from Hawaii.
Yeah, can't leave him
randomly. No, that guy is such an innovator. Like,
yes.
But right. But he came from Seattle. We came from Vegas, and everybody else came from all these different places, all at that time, within that time of 96 and 97. And
wow, so you guys all even touched down around the same time.
We all touched down around the same time. That's why I feel like it's fate that we all came together, but meeting up in the club, and then it was just history from that point. They all lived with each other in this house in the area of Seattle, and of course me and Latif, we dormed together going to the Art Institute. So then we would drive and go meet up with them, and then go to the clubs and stuff and hang out with them. So then we decided to come up with a name for the crew. And my homie Bob, he's one of the guy, and then Gabi from Circle of Fire too. They both came up with the name Circle of Fire. And I think it was from a shaman who was a Native American shaman who coined the name. And then there was also a book in the Circle of Fire. And we loved the name so much. We were like, yo, that's us. Yo, we're energy in the circle. Like, it was just perfect. And it sounded a little tribal for all the other names that everybody else was coming out with, and had names like Rock Forest, all the different names. So we were like super abstract with it, but not trying to be, just being ourselves. Like, they're gonna like this name. But not even thinking what people would think. But so yeah, the name just fit and it stuck with us. And then we just started writing with that. We would go to the club and try to get into the club for free. Like, yo, our crew is Circle of Fire. Yo, we're gonna dance and we're gonna get the party started. Can you guys get us in for free?
Right.
And it would work sometimes.
Hey man, marketing,
Yeah.
right? In the early days.
Exactly.
No doubt. Now,
all of us come from breaking backgrounds, so we were just ready to battle when we got accepted to go to Battle of the Year, which was a shock to our system too, because we had no idea that, you know, Thomas, who ran Battle of the Year at that time, was wanting a crew like us to represent the US. And so when we got that call, we were like, yo, we're going to show the world our skills. Yo, let's do this. And when we got out there, we didn't make it past the performance part of it to be selected to battle. So we were disappointed.
for more quality content from Beyond the Cypher with Illskillz, don't forget to press the like and subscribe buttons. Also, feel free to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Beyond the Cypher. Let us know how we're doing down in the comment section, and to make sure you don't miss anything from the channel, smash that notification bell. We appreciate the love and support. Peace. Until the next episode.